Let's be honest. Sometimes diving into the world of nutrition makes me feel like I need a life preserver.
I hear you. It's kind of like everyone's yelling different directions at the same time, right? Eat this, not that. This is the magic bullet. It's overwhelming.
Totally. So today, we're tossing out the rule books and diving into something different.
A food fiesta.
Okay, now that's a deep dive I can get behind. Where's the party?
Well, it all started with this YouTube video, right? From Regenera Health. It's called Como Comer Bien, Guía Definitiva. So, Dieta Anti-inflammatoria Alimentos.
Don't worry, we've got the English version covered.
Perfect, because my Spanish is a little rusty.
Mine too, honestly.
Yeah.
But the cool thing is this video isn't about deprivation or anything like that. It's about, like, making friends with your gut.
Okay, gut health is huge right now, but what makes it so important in this whole food fiesta scenario? Think of it this way. Your gut, it's like the heart of your immune system. When it's happy, you're happy. More energy, better sleep, even helps with things like, keeping those chronic illnesses at bay.
So, no more afternoon slump if I befriend my gut bacteria. Sign me up. But how do we even start this whole make your gut happy thing?
This video calls it a food fiesta for a reason. It's about enjoying real food, the kind that's colorful, delicious, and makes you feel amazing.
All right, I'm all about a fiesta, but what exactly are we serving at this gut-friendly party?
First things first, protein is the guest of honor. Grass-fed meats, fish, especially the smaller ones like sardines, lower in mercury, and eggs.
How many eggs are we talking here?
They recommend like 10 to 14 a week.
Whoa, 14 eggs. Okay, that's a lot of omelets. But what about carbs? Are those relegated to the kiddie table?
Not at all. Carbs are welcome at this fiesta, but we're being picky. Load up on those colorful veggies, your greens, reds, oranges, tubers like potatoes, and sweet potatoes are good too. And fruit, of course.
So eating the rainbow is a real thing.
It totally is. And here's a little tip. For potatoes and sweet potatoes, cook them, cool them, then reheat them. It actually increases something called resistant starch, which is like a prebiotic. Feeds the good gut bacteria.
So leftovers are gut healthy. Music to my ears. What else are we serving up at this fiesta?
Don't forget the healthy fats. Olive oil, avocados, those are your best friends.
Okay, this is all sounding delicious, but what about portion sizes? That's always been my struggle.
This is where it gets interesting. They talk about this idea of eating at libitum.
Eating at one.
It's like not a free-for-all buffet, but also not measuring every grain of rice. You eat until you're satisfied, not overly full, but not restricting either.
Wait, so no more calorie counting apps and portion control containers.
It's more about really tuning into your body's cues. When you're giving it what it actually needs, you'd be surprised how those cravings for junk start to fade.
So you're saying ditch the diet mentality and just listen to my body. That sounds way more fun than any diet I've ever tried.
Exactly. It's about creating a healthy relationship with food and your body.
Okay, ditch the diet mentality, listen to my body. I like the sound of that. But what about those moments when my cravings hit? When only a giant bag of chips or a vat of ice cream will do?
Oh, I've totally been there. It's like those cravings come out of nowhere. But this video, it actually talks about those moments and how to tell the difference, right, between real hunger and those like emotional cravings.
Oh, tell me more, because emotional eating and I, we're on first-name basis.
Yeah.
Stressful day, chocolate, argument with a friend. Bring on the pizza. How do we decipher those sneaky emotional hunger pangs from, like, real body needs food hunger?
Well, the expert had this really interesting question. They said, think about what sounds good to you first thing in the morning. Like, imagine you're just waking up.
Okay, I'm imagining.
So if you're thinking, ooh, scrambled eggs and avocado toast sounds amazing, that's probably true hunger, right?
Okay, makes sense.
But if you wake up and you're like, man, I could really go for a donut right now, chances are you're not actually hungry. It's more of an emotional thing.
Oh, wow. That's actually really helpful. Because I don't think I've ever woken up craving a donut. But by, like, 3 in the afternoon, totally different story.
Right. And that's how those emotional cravings work. They kind of hijack your brain, right? When your energy is low or you're stressed. Real hunger, it builds gradually.
This is all making me realize I need to get better at listening to my body's signals. So if we are truly giving our bodies the good stuff, those nutrient-dense foods we talked about, wouldn't we need to eat less often? Like, wouldn't we just feel more satisfied overall?
You're totally on the right track. That's one of the big takeaways from this video. When you're in tune with your body and eating those nourishing foods, you naturally start to need fewer meals throughout the day.
So instead of forcing myself to eat every few hours, it's more about, like tuning into my body and eating when I'm actually hungry and stopping when I'm full.
Exactly. And you know what else happens? Those energy crashes, those blood sugar dips that have you reading the vending machine, they start to even out.
Okay, now that is a benefit I get behind. No more 3 p.m. slump, no more desperate coffee runs. This is starting to sound less like a diet and more like a total lifestyle shift.
It really is a different way of thinking about food, and it's definitely more sustainable in the long run.
The expert mentioned some people transitioning from like 5 meals a day down to 3 or even 2. There's something magical about that number of meals.
It's not so much about the number itself, but more about what happens when you embrace this way of eating. Focusing on quality, listening to your body. It naturally leads to feeling satisfied and energized on fewer meals.
It's like you're giving your body what it truly needs. So stop sending those feed me now signals every couple of hours. This is such a different approach.
It really is. It's about working with your body, not against it. There's something else from the video that really stood out to me too. Beyond the specific food advice, the expert's whole philosophy towards eating was really powerful.
Ooh, now I'm really intrigued. Tell me more. You were saying something about the expert's philosophy on eating. What was it that really struck you?
It wasn't really a rule or anything, more like a feeling, you know? They basically said we should make eating a celebration, not something we stress over. And that just resonated with me. Like, yes, exactly.
It's so true. I mean, we get so caught up in portion sizes and calorie counting and all that we forget to actually enjoy our food, you know?
Right. And it shouldn't feel like a chore or something we have to be scared of. It should be enjoyable, fun even.
Food is such a big part of life, too. I mean, think about it. Family dinners, holidays, even just grabbing coffee with a friend. It all revolves around food.
Food brings people together. And the experience, it shouldn't be overshadowed by guilt or anxiety about calories. This expert, they were all about embracing both the pleasure and the nourishment. It's not an either-or situation.
I love that. So for our listeners who are ready to ditch the diet mindset and embrace this whole food fiesta approach, what's the one thing you hope they take away from all of this?
Honestly, I just want them to rediscover how awesome real food can be. To approach eating with a sense of adventure, Try new recipes, experiment with different spices, load up on those vibrant fruits and veggies, find what makes their bodies feel good.
Yes. And lose the guilt. Food should make you feel good, both physically and mentally. You know what? I think it's time we officially retire the phrase cheat day.
Ooh, I like where you're going with this.
It perpetuates this idea that some foods are bad and we should feel guilty for enjoying them.
Totally agree. Maybe we'll replace it with, like, celebration day instead.
Yes, I love it. A day to just enjoy those special foods and flavors that you love without any guilt or judgment.
Now that's a health trend I can get behind.
Me too.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for this deep dive. We hope you enjoyed the fiesta.